to their own little ponds, that 6 weeks before martial law, they will begin massive roundups of people that are a threat to them. Mostly call those on the red list. The government has everybody grouped into three lists: the red list, the blue list, the green list. Red list being the first ones to go. No second chance, just straight to their deaths. And so Search of Fall has been stating that these massive pickups of red list people has been going on, and it might be so, but I haven't seen anybody on the internet yet talking about anybody missing. And so if you've heard of it, keep your ears open. If you start seeing big mouths disappearing, or start seeing a lot of people other than illegal immigrants here being deported back, because that's the only thing I've seen is illegal immigrants being rounded up and deported back to Mexico. And you read that on one hand that the government's rounding up illegal immigrants, and on the other you're reading where they let 1 million of them go. So on one hand they're spending all this money to go and pick them up and have them arrested, and then on the other they're letting them go. Then they're turning around letting them go. So it's really, what's the point? Listener caller line 260-356-2611. I got a toothpaste cancer alert. This was found in thislondon.co.uk, and it's reporting that dozens of toothpaste sold at supermarkets were at the center of a cancer alert. Antibacterial cleaning products, including dishwashing liquid and hand wash, were also affected. The researchers have discovered that triclosan, a chemical in the products, can react with water to produce chloroform gas.
Sherry?
Yeah.
You have a caller when you're ready.
Okay, and if inhaled in large enough quantities, chloroform can cause depression, liver problems, and in some cases cancer. So be careful of some of the products you use if it has this triclosan in it. Go ahead and put them on, Steve.
You're up, caller.
Hello. How are you doing this evening, Sherry?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I just stumbled onto your radio program here a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And I was really intrigued by the gentleman that you had on 2 weeks ago talking about the Vatican.
Oh, yeah, Eric John Phelps?
Yes. What an interesting show. But nothing that did not surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Now, when we were talking about the over 10,000 that were rounded up here that they've been talking about for the last 3 or 4 weeks, not weeks, but days, that's been going on this week.
Yeah, because he's saying it's a total of 147,000 just within the past month or so.
I think it was 10,000, and they were here in Tennessee, close to 1,400. And a police officer brings his dog in to be groomed with me, and he came in today. And he's just finishing his college education, going into the DEA and the FBI with his education he has now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked him about it today, and he said yes, they had all these warrants. These were federal warrants, and they just for some reason decided to go pick all these guys up. The big problem was, he said, was getting the counties and the states to coordinate these things with them because these were federal warrants.
So federal warrants is explain a federal warrant as opposed to if you're committing a federal crime, that's usually committing crimes across states.
I guess so.
Or white collar, you would think?
Pretty much, yes.
So I don't really, for white collar crimes, usually aren't violent criminals. And that's why they have federal prisons as opposed to regular prisons, because they're not violent. They're usually tax evaders or embezzlers or, whatever.
But they used the excuse of these over 10,000 plus that they were picking up this week were on federal charges of rape, murder, and I forget what the third one was.
And those aren't even federal crimes.
Exactly. These would be state crimes.
Yeah, those aren't
within
federal
the state
crimes.
itself.
I mean, you could have kidnapping as a federal if it crosses state borders.
Right. Then that would be interstate trafficking or whatever.
That would be kidnapping.
Right.
And that's when the government would get involved because it's interstate. It's
right. That would be the Fed.
But I have a degree in criminal justice as well, and I just looked at that article and I'm raising my eyebrows thinking, well, those aren't federal crimes.
So you have too, huh?
Oh, yeah. I've got 3 degrees.
Yeah, when I heard this day before yesterday, I got up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I heard this on the radio, and I'm like, what?
Well, I heard from somebody.
What are they talking about here?
Somebody over in Connecticut or one of those New England states where they were rounding up illegal immigrants.
So exactly who have they rounded up with this over 10,000?
And that's what I'm saying. I don't know of anybody missing. I haven't heard of anybody, well, you know, on the Internet or even in the news.
But, I mean, even on the radio here in the Nashville area, they gave the statistics of there was like 300 and some from Memphis, 200 some from Nashville here, and 300 or 200 or 300 some from Knoxville area.
So if
I'm going, could this be good patriots that they've rounded up?
Well, you know, it has to be something, because if they had warrants for all these people, and they know where they all live, and they know where to get them, and there's over 500 or 1,300, how come they haven't gotten them before? Why are they waiting all for one day?
See, that's the question that I asked the police officer today.
And so what did he say?
Well, they have to, the federal government has to coordinate with the states and with the counties to get these people arrested. And I said, that's the best you can do for me, huh? That's the best you're going to give me today. And he said, that's all I'm going to say, Gayla.
All they have to do is put their, you know, if these people have warrants in the database, I mean, their local sheriff would pick them up for the federals.
It didn't make any sense to me, Sherry.
You know, it just doesn't make any sense. Okay, we've got 1,000 people that we've got all these outstanding warrants on, but we're going to wait for 6 months down the road on a particular day and pick them all up at the same time.
Exactly.
And these aren't even federal crimes that they're talking about. Rape and murder.
These are state crimes.
Yeah, they're not even federal crimes.
So I'm really beginning to wonder, what is the message subliminally that they are sending to us here?
It's conditioning for roundups.
That's what I think, too.
They're getting people used and conditioned to hearing this roundup thing.
So I guess you and I will be on the next list, huh? I said, come and get me.
Well, I'm not very high up. You know, I would have been gone a long time ago.
You never know, honey. We might be real high up there.
But I've always said they would take care of their own first. They've got too many of their own to hide and shut up. And, I agree. You know, Christians aren't really on a priority list right now. To us, we're like
we're the bottom
flies
feeders
that won't go away.
Yeah, we're the bottom feeders.
They keep swatting at us, and we won't just go away. But we're not priority.
Well, because we don't know enough that's really damaging to them yet.
Yeah, we're not going to storm the White House and arrest them for treason.
Exactly.
You know, and so they're taking care of all those people that could.
Yeah.
And then have proof.
Yeah,
any kind of proof that can be held against them.
Yeah, they better start fighting amongst themselves. That's all I'm going to say.
This is the second time I've read an article from the Sorcha File, and she's kind of just fear-mongering, saying, okay, there's all these massive roundups going on, and the United States is under, dissident roundups, and I don't see anything going on here.
I haven't either, and I don't live in the best neighborhood in Nashville, okay? And I haven't seen it. If I would have thought of any place they'd be doing a roundup would be around here. And I've seen nothing. I mean, out of the norm.
Yeah, I mean, well, most of the people out there that are probably in crime in Nashville work for the CIA anyway.
Exactly.
You know, they've got the monopoly on drug dealers out there. Huh?
Yeah, I know, but I was told today by the police officer, I don't want to mention names tonight, but he said that there's only 2,000 federal marshals for the whole United States.
Yeah.
And we have, like, for Tennessee, 2 or 3 United States marshals, and they hail out of Memphis. And so that's why that they've had a hard time coordinating all this stuff.
Well, you know what? Every jurisdiction has an FBI, local FBI branch.
Thank you very much.
And so why do we need Big Brother coming in with marshals? Usually, take 2 FBI people, make a federal arrest.
It would leave someone to ponder this, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they're just kind of changing everything all of a sudden, saying, oh, we need big, massive federal agencies all pulled together to go arrest a couple people.
They wanted to make sure that our new